people make you lie down.
Yo yo, Mayegun don come oh. Yo yo,
My people make we shout
yo
out.
yo, Mayegun don come oh. Yo yo,
Mayegun the command of the masses.
yo yo, Mayegun don come oh. Yo yo,
Mayegun they are the political.
yo yo, Mayegun don come oh. Yo yo,
This one not they of in mind.
yo yo, Mayegun don come oh. Yo yo,
Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you loud.
yo yo, Mayegun don come oh. Yo yo,
My people make you shout.
yo yo, Mayegun don come oh.
Hello there.
I'm a do 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 do.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun lawa.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Please share this broadcast, okay? And thank you so much for joining me tonight. Share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them Mayegun today.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun diary, diary political.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism.
Take your time to read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Share it. That's how you're going to invite others. Thank you.
Mayegun number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Therefore, don't pay Tinubu last night. Disaster averted tonight.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé.
What to do?
Ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí
You
Facebook.
are welcome to the Temple of Truth tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon. Depends on the time you are watching. Take a moment, like this broadcast. We are about to start.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
You can also take a moment and tag all of the Abrodian Buhari idiots, Abrodian Agbadorians, especially those ones who compared the Nigeria healthcare with the healthcare of the countries they are currently holed up in. Tell them, Mayegun today.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa bí.
The Nigeria not happen to you is a very strong phrase that is like a prayer. You should never just ignore. May Nigeria never happen to you.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé.
Today. Ekule. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. Okay? And this is Mayegun and this is live. If you are watching at the right time, a disaster that could have thrown the Western or let's say West Africa region into an overnight warfare was averted yesterday. And there are many, many questions that you are likely never going to get an answer to. But tonight, as you can be very rest assured, Mayegun will tell you exactly what happened. Okay? And you yourself can pretty much like picture it and maybe further do some other investigations too. What do I mean by that? You know, whenever the criminals running Nigeria, whenever they deny something, absolutely, yeah, you get that. That means it happened. 24 hours after the supposed president of the giants of Africa, Tinubu, which is popularly known in that axis of Africa as Pablo ECOWAS. Now, Pablo ECOWAS has brought further, Boko Haram started it. Pablo ECOWAS has brought further shame, especially with all his baggages. You were fighting legitimacy, battling with, legitimacy battle, where you have been already accused of a civilian coup. Then you turned yourself into the puppet of France. And without thinking, with no common sense, you declared war on your long-term, peaceful neighbor, Niger Republic. Who does that? You cut off their electricity overnight. You cut off their monetary system. Transactional, whatever, if you are doing transaction with Niger Republic, Tinubu has cut that off for the past 3 months. So you declared Niger Republic with other puppets, West African countries, hiding behind the hand called giant, the crippled giant of Africa. You declared war on your supposed brother, neighbor, for France. Then, at the end of the day, you failed. You couldn't go ahead because you got exposed. Even France, where they push you, go war, they don't chase them, come up for Niger. And that is the first diplomatic victory that these people, Niger Republic, have just won. So from that same space of those who are advising Tinubu, his own protocol officers, those who know about exactly what they have dipped themselves into, they left New York 8 days ago, disappeared into France, and spent enough time with whom people are beginning to see as the de facto president of Nigeria, the Shaguri. You've heard about them, Abi? Yes, those are the cabals that will run Nigeria with Kolu. They are becoming more pronounced now. The Shaguri. It was there for 8 days. Then they went on, go and fuel your plane. Let us go back to Abuja. So what happened? It was when they were now, their flight was like going to go straight to Abuja, France. It's like this. Look at this parallel line now. Let's say there's a parallel line now. This is France. This is Abuja. Okay? So if you are coming from France and you're flying down straight to Abuja, there are countries you are going to pass. And just the same way you have land borders, you have all those places there is something called the airspace too. You don't just jump into a plane. For example, now you can't just jump into any plane because you are a pilot and then just start flying and fly to Ghana and fly straight to Sierra Leone. From there to Baba, they go shoot you down. What you are doing there is that you are trespassing into international airspace of that country. So when you become independent as a country, you own the right to the land, to the sea, to the air, for a reasonable country, not like Nigeria anyway, where they do anyhow. So which means Tinubu will need to fly over the enemy's territory. But maybe in their own small, whatever space they are there in France. I've been a palace they live in France. With their myopic sense of international, what do you call it? International diplomacy. The way they thought that it was just like Niger. So what are they going to do? So what happened? When they were bringing Kolu in last night, and they got to the airspace of Algeria, and they were approaching Niger Republic. So the pilot will signal to the authority there and say, we are flying over. The president of Nigeria is going to be flying over in another 15 minutes. So we want you to be aware and all of that. That's you informing them before you get there. Right away, they say, no triamo. Are you guys mad? Like, are you being serious? Like, what kind of audacity is that? If you try we will make sure that your president is former president, not just former dead president, because we will shoot his plane down. He is an enemy. He has declared our country enemy. Don't bring him over here. 15 minutes. It's like you are mad. So Nigeria presidential jet 001, they call it NAF 001, started hovering, like started flying back and forth in Algeria for 2 hours, 15 minutes in the air. Around that same time, that 2-hour diplomatic standoff, they no bond them well to fly it over. Kolu lo niyen, awo lo niyen. Yes, so the war, it will turn to war, but Kolu awo lo. Try. That was when they started talking to Burkina Faso, Mali, because if they have to avoid Niger, that means they may need to probably fly to the east. And flying to the east from that spot, Algeria, which means flying east means, at that spot, it means they will need to fly to Burkina Faso space, Mali, then go to Ghana, then Ghana to Togo, from Togo to Benin, from Benin to Abuja. So they will avoid Niger completely. But the problem now is that Burkina Faso and Mali, they have declared support for Niger. When you declare war on Niger, you've declared war on us too. But in fact, you didn't threaten us directly. But here is what we can do for you. You can fly into Mali, okay? But you have to go to the eastern part of Mali. Make sure you position yourself very well. If you go to the northern part of Mali, we won't be responsible for what happened. So they now have to direct Kolu and his people, guide them through the Malian eastern border, eastern airspace, straight to Burkina Faso, then straight there to Ghana, to Togo, to Benin, before they finally go and drop him in Abuja. Because Nigeria is a place where anything goes. Do you know that even if you don't like Tinubu, which I know a lot of us don't, and for the obvious reasons, by the way, right? But do you know the international sort of or should I say grave mistake that the member of his own crew made that could have put his life in danger and all their lives, not just that, and put the lives of millions of Nigerians and Nigerians in danger when the war will break out. You can't shoot the plane of the president of Nigeria down in your country. You can't do that. And if you do, you are actually declaring war. There is no going back from that. Somebody said that they should have shot him, Jared, as are you ready for Shettima? And that is why whenever you feel like what do you call it? Whenever you feel like Nigeria, the failure that Nigeria represents and how much that affects everyone. And then in your mind, you hope that, that man is, what do you call it? Jonathan is the problem. Let us go for him. Yeah, you must go, you must die, blah, 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 blah. Bokwari came, doubled or tripled the shege. Bokwari enemy, Bokwari 8 years, all of that. Tinubu came in. It is the same, now Ogun kill you, now this and that. But guess what? If you uproot the system that is producing them, you have solved the problem. Some of you, I know, ironically, we will never find out, okay? Some of you may not really know what God, make I use God, what posterity, destiny, how much hurtful it might sound, did for Peter Obi, You see that system, that rotten system that is producing criminals as your leaders. If na Peter Obi then they sworn in May, half of you obedient today, go down they kind of feel like this will be safe. You be like saying now we overrate him. You be like saying now we overhype him. You will not understand that the system is built in a way that it will never work for you as Nigerians. To change it, that means after Obi become that president, he will need to join the rest of people like us and uproot the entire system, which means it will also cost him that same presidency that he just became. Or else, 6 months it will you. Una go de cost him, una go de, you know what I mean? With the damages that Nigeria is currently has been subjected to, and the establishment itself generally, but you may not understand. Like I said, we will never know. Sure, you get, we will never know. The system was not ready to risk it themselves. They don't even want him to. They don't even want him. You know, if the system wanted to disgrace him, you know, they don't destroy the whole thing. They have destroyed the economy, destroyed the security, divided the country, destroyed the currency. You know, did all of that. For their own escape, they will just declare Peter Obi winner. All of them are going to be happy, celebrate, and this and that. Now then, reality will now set in. That Nigeria is not put together to work. For Nigeria to work, it simply means they have to break it up from what it is right now. At all, they won't do that. So if Obi want Nigeria to work, he's talking about restructuring now. And I like that. He's always talking about that. That's one thing that kind of attracted me to the obedient. When it was the only person who really explained in no sincerity and fact that except Nigeria kind of restructure. Restructuring means everybody they do their own thing their way. He was the only one that sounded like that, but I didn't believe that he could do it. I still don't believe he would. I mean, the system will let him do it. Nevertheless, we will never know, and we will never find out. Sure, you know. So, Kalu and his gang, who have been so used to a rigged system and do anyhow, that their anyhowness, could have caused war last night. But instead of them to quickly come out clean and say, we didn't expect that. In fact, we didn't expect that in this 21st century, 2023, that technology can tell the whole world what is happening to the president, to the aircraft of the president of Nigeria or any president in the world. And that is why they believe that they can still use the same trick of propaganda, lies, gaslighting, and the rest of that to run a country that is bleeding. So instead of them to take responsibility, 23 hours after the whole thing started, 18 hours after they managed to get him out of the smuggled him through different countries before bringing him to Abuja, one way now came out. They said he is the ambassador to Niger Republic. I said, oh, Nigeria don't get any ambassador anywhere anymore. But you know, trust Nigeria media, especially the cable. those the cable, those Olori Buruku cable came to my Facebook page to come and do what they call a fact checking. Reported me to Facebook when I put up a satire post, something like a joke. They came there and said, what you know is not right. And the fact they were there, the same way the cable. Kolawole, what is that guy's name? The owner of the cable. They spoke to one weary and they said he's the ambassador to Niger. 3 weeks ago, from the beginning of this month, Tinubu wrote to all of the Nigerian ambassadors all over the world, including the one in the UK, for all of them to return back to Nigeria because he wants to appoint another set. So when did Nigeria still have a Niger ambassador? But trust them, they don't run with them. It's not true that they prevented Tinubu's plane from passing Niger. What really happened was that when Tinubu's plane appeared in Niger, the Niger military, they said he needs to leave Niger quick now. So they now told him to leave quick. They did not stop him. Short on here. That one I talk. Ambassador told the cable that they did not stop Tinubu from flying over Niger. They only said he should go quick. So hold up, then Niger Republic airspace, Abi. Is that what happened? And that is what the Nigerian media is quoting to deny that this happened. They said, no, it didn't happen that way. What happened was that there was traffic on the Niger Republic airspace. They now told the president of Nigeria, please go quick. And the president was in Abuja already. So what is all this story about president plane, Niger stopping them? That is because they still believe they are talking to the wearies. The Buhari DOT and co. And that is what Nigeria media is quoting. They put the life of your president in danger. The enemy of Tinubu are no more than the same people around him, just same way with Buhari. Those who are doing rankadede for Buhari, today they are enjoying their loot. You are enjoying your shege. So the same characters around him, are those who put his life in danger. So what is the reason? They are denying, which means nobody will be responsible for it. But don't worry yourself. They are watching us. They are watching this broadcast. They are following everything too. Which means you may begin to hear that they don't sack this one or they don't transfer this one codedly. Just like the time they nearly shot Aisha Bokwari inside the Asshole Rock because of coronavirus mask. Abi, what did they call them? What is that thing they said we should be doing that time? Quarantine. Quarantine. Aisha Bokwari was in Dubai. Then coming back from Dubai, she went to Lagos. From Lagos, she came to Asshole Rock. Inside the Asshole Rocky, Tunde Sabitu, personal secretary to Bokwari, decided that Aisha Bokwari and her entourage, they must go and do 14 days quarantine. Shomadini, Amy First Lady, you the crazy. Kato 4. They don't shoot gun up. Inside the Asshole Rock, they don't carry Bokwari, jump fancy. They thought it was cool. They quickly changed all of the security guards inside the Asshole Rock that day before they returned Bokwari to the old people's home, Asshole Rock. So you may just suddenly hear that they don't transfer, they don't sack, they don't change. Because Tinubu be like somebody who is still the king's trumpet. So what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to play the trumpet? That the people will not know that that is sounding like the king's trumpet. And if the king's trumpet is missing, where are you going to play it? Legitimacy battle. Same one he is still fighting in America. I'm coming back to that one now. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. which means I want to start this one with in the name of Allah, of God. If I tell you, if you hear anywhere where they talk, say, may Nigeria no happen to you. May Nigeria no happen to me. May Nigeria no happen to people where I know. May Nigeria no happen to people where I don't know. May Nigeria no even happen to anybody where they see himself as my enemy. Because anybody where Nigeria happen to, if you're a human being, it will shake you. And that is exactly what the life of an average person living in Nigeria is exposed to. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor. It doesn't matter anymore. You know what people say? They said that the only place that is safe in Nigeria right now is nowhere. Do you know that? The only place that is safe in Nigeria is nowhere. A young lady, you know, you can say a promising young woman who happened to be or become a victim of a one-chance syndicate robbers. So the one-chance taxi or robbers are those. They are a team of robbers that will kind of pretend to be taxi drivers or, you know, kind of transportation, so to say. While the rest of the gang, one of them will act as driver, and the rest of the gang will act as passengers to rob you and then throw you out of their car. Now, this young woman, Greatness Olorun Femi, she became a victim of these one-chance robbers last night. She was robbed and she was pushed down from a moving vehicle. She sustained a lot of injury, including a stab. They stabbed her. Well, as usual, Nigerians who are the good Samaritans, who witnessed it when she was thrown out of the car, they rushed to help her, right? And they even took her to the hospital. And they took her to the general hospital, government hospital. Baba, at the government hospital, they rejected her while she bled, because they will need the police reports before they can before they could attend to her. 2 hours later, she bled to death and she died. Around that time, I was like, she be in 2014, before 2015. Goodluck Egbere Jolantan signed what he called the National Health Scheme into law. That is, every Nigerian deserves a medical care at the point of at the point of request. Whether they have money or they don't have money, they must be attended to. In 2000 and I think it was 2017, Saraki, National Assembly then, also passed another bill that became law that Bokwari signed. And that is, you don't need any police report anymore before you can get medical care, especially during emergency. The first thing is your life. The life of the victim must be saved. This is 2023. What happened to that law? Why is somebody asking for police reports before you can save the life of somebody that just been stabbed? Gravely, like, you know what I mean, fatally stabbed. So I was so disturbed and angry, especially when I got to know the lady involved. I mean, just like Mohbad, you see the death of this young lady is another promising, what do you call it? A promising soul cut short in their prime. It's sad. And it is what Nigeria is as well. So when you now see those who have managed to, after all the things that actually, all the challenges that actually faces Nigerians in Nigeria every day of our lives. No electricity, no medical care, doctors and nurses are poorly paid or never paid. You know what I'm saying? Things that are actually making us agree that indeed we are the third world. And then you manage to leave that country. You become a resident in America, a resident, a citizen of UK, Britain. You are now a Canadian. Your children are now safe. You are safe. You don't have to worry about electricity anymore. You don't have to break your bank to access healthcare anymore. A lot of you have been saved. A lot of us are alive today simply because we had an opportunity of living in Nigeria. A lot of us would have died with so many medical things that a lot of us are battling with right now, that if you were to be in Nigeria, you would be long dead, even if you had the money. So you know all this, and you know the difference. And because you want to defend the failed leadership in Nigeria, because you want to defend the APC, because you want to kind of sound like you are patriotic Nigerian, the Olori Buruku you, loving Nigeria from abroad, you will never want to live there anymore. You know that. And then you sit your hard ass down there, and you are saying, if not because of bad leadership, Nigerians have easy access to health care. They can see doctors faster than they can see doctors in the UK. And you Ashiris are also saying, some of you who are care worker in London, care worker all over UK. I'm not saying anything is wrong with care work. But as a care worker, you are a property owner. You are doing so well. Now you are sitting down there and you are telling the Ajiyajes of Nigeria that it is so hard to see doctors in the UK. It is not easy to see. Do you know how much it costs to get kiniko in America? Do you know what it takes to see kiniko in Canada? And you are saying all of this nonsense to the humbled slaves in Nigeria. And those are shearers too. They are telling you, thank you, Jare, my sister. God bless you, my sister. We don't know why they are trying to spread the name of Nigeria. We know that a lot of them, they will spend 14 hours for ambulance. Sometimes they will wait for 3 hours. They will wait for 24 hours to see doctor. They will wait for 6 months for appointment. We are talking about our shearers that are drinking agbo under bridge. They are talking about those who have access to doctor and those who don't have access to doctor. You are joining them to say, thank you, Jare, my sister. God will bless you. At least you are a good Nigerian. See, you are saying the truth. Somebody got stabbed. They didn't bleed out by the roadside. They were not calling ambulance to come and pick her. They took her to the government hospital, A&E. And the government said, the doctors and those there said, we cannot touch her. We can't. We need police reports. Would that ever happen in your own America? Can that ever happen in your own Canada? In your own UK here? That you took somebody to the A&E and they are saying, sorry, we are too busy. Go and bring police reports. Okay, please, we need police reports. Please don't disturb us. Then you shut the door. They shut the door of the hospital. They shut the door. Yes. Don't disturb us. While the lady bled out. here, according to them, this is what their law says. Oh. Compulsory treatment and care of victims of a gunshot bill. The worst is somebody to get shot, Abi. Somebody got stabbed. Every hospital in Nigeria, whether public or private, shall accept or receive for immediate and adequate treatment with or without police clearance any persons with a gunshot wound. That's gunshot too. Now their law, or she dead person, if you quote this law now, they say security agent will provide assistance. Every person, including security agents, shall render every possible assistance to any person with gunshot wounds and ensure that the person is taken to the nearest hospital for treatment. Here is another part of their own law. No cruel and inhuman treatment of victims. No person with a bullet wound shall be subject to inhuman and degrading treatment or torture by any person in authority. This includes police and security agencies. Baba, they go tell you, say, she been at the law, talk am. You want me to go and touch it so that they will come and arrest me. They will come and shake any. You are on your own. That moment, you begin to see Nigeria happening to you. And it may be too late. It may be too late. Just for this lady. Greatness. It became too late. I have managed to cover this video, which is a clip recorded by a CNN reporter right there in Nigeria. Now, it's sad, but it is the voice I want you to listen to. Please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your brother Wes Robinson reporting for CNN News WhatsApp. This lady was just pushed down from a vehicle between Shettima Kuba Express, the road going towards Use Bega. She was pushed down by all this one chance. And this is what we've been talking about. Please, let's be careful. She was pushed down from one chance vehicle. You can hear me. I'm reporting live on CNN News headquarters here in Abuja, Nigeria. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother reporting for CNN News Network. We are just in Shettima General Hospital. Unfortunately, we called one of the nurses we just met here. She said they cannot attend to her. They have their reason. This is what we've been talking about for the past few weeks, how our hospitals are dying on daily basis. Instead of them to quickly rush this woman and save her life, they are saying there are procedure and process, and they just lock their gates against us. This is what is happening here now in Use General Hospital. Shettima General Hospital. Good evening, ladies.
They lock their gates. They lock the door. Stop disturbing us. You are making video. Yeah, go and shut that door. She died. 2 hours later, she bled to death. And you want to know the lady just before this? Greatness.
There are adjustments we have made in the workplace to make our organization more inclusive and also help other organizations more inclusive. So because I'm an HR consultant, I am privileged to work with different organizations across different sectors. And so when I'm drafting policy, I've even drafted policy to as much as a company in Canada. And so I ensure that their policy, their procedures, their organization was inclusive. So while you're recruiting, the question has to be there to say, okay, would you require an aide during your interview process, right, to actually ensure that our recruitment process is inclusive. So it's changed that for me, even though I had compassion for these people, but working with Site Savers and CIPM made me to now go beyond just knowing it as ed knowledge to practicalizing it and also helping my clients to do the same.
Rest in peace to the great soul. She's greatness. 80 Olorunfemi. Yeah. So you can see where this is coming from. it could happen to anybody. It could be me, it could be you, it could be anyone, it could be you, it could be anybody. And that is the danger we are talking about. The one that could claim anybody's life just anytime. That's the brilliant mind, the brilliant soul that is now cut short. She didn't die in the hand of the attackers. She got to the door of the General Hospital in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, and she was rejected. So when any Olori Buruku sits abroad telling you that don't listen to people, pray for Nigeria, meanwhile, they have access to the things that can at least keep them alive, safe, secure, far away from the hellhole, and they are telling you, don't listen to people who are criticizing, may Asiwaju succeed, may Boko Haram succeed. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú akóbániyà kó ṣìbérò dàbí mo ṣe dà. Those assailants, they will never be caught. And that is the sad part. The saddest part. Somebody went to we are British embassy, we are American embassy, we are Canadian embassy, nobody knows, okay? He went there, 60 years old man. Dokwemu stupid service, DSS. They pounced on him. They can't say, sorry, wrong identity. You don't beat a 60 years old man. You don't beat him to stupor. You can't talk, say, wrong identity. Wrong identity kill you there. And it is Nigeria. Nigeria no happen to you. Part 2.
My husband is not a Yahoo boy. My husband works for an organization, an international organization, which he is an expatriate to them. My husband went to Ethiopian embassy to pick up his visa. While he was waiting in the car, he was working on his laptop. DSS men came there, collected the laptop, collected his phone, started beating him, and took him away. Getting to his office, they asked for his ID card. He brought out his ID card and showed them. They brought him back to the Ethiopian consulates. When they brought him there, the people asked him, where did you go to? He said he was that he was beaten. All his face is swollen. DSS office, men are not begging that they thought they are fighting case of terrorism. DSS said they are fighting case of terrorism. They beat up my husband now. I am using this media to call those in power, those in the DSS head office, those who control the boys. See what your boys are doing. Your boys are beating my husband up. They are beating him up. He is managing his health. Oh. He went to pick up his visa. Oh. He went to pick up his visa. DSS overall. Your boys went to Ethiopian embassy. My husband was in the car responding to mails. Your boss pick him, jack him inside motor, carry his laptop, carry his phone, go to the office, undress him, blow him, all his face don't swell up. Look at his laptop, he's not a Yahoo boy. They brought him back to embassy. They said that Ethiopian consulants was like, this is inhuman. This is inhuman. Your boys are begging. My husband cannot breathe, oh. My husband cannot breathe, oh. I cannot let you there alone, oh. Whoever is DSS head, you didn't hear my voice, oh. Your boys went to embassy to pick my husband. DSS head of officials. Your boys went to embassy, Ethiopian embassy. Pick him inside the car, started beating him. Even if you pick a criminal, won't you do investigation? Won't you do investigation before you beat them? If they pick him inside the vehicle where he was waiting to go in for his visa, started beating him, took him to their office. They say it's a mistake. Your boss say it's a mistake. Your boss say it's a mistake. That they are fighting terrorism. They are thinking it's terrorism when carry laptop. No investigation. You started beating a 60-year-old man. Your boy started beating a 60-year-old man. DSS head of official, is that to do the job? If you catch criminal, you will not confirm before you start killing him. My husband was at DSS office, Ethiopian embassy, Abuja. He's a man that tell you where he's going to. Ethiopian office, Abuja. That's where he's there. He's at Ethiopian embassy to pick his visa. He's inside the car waiting because they are not open to customer yet. Your boys brought him out of car, put him in motor, started beating him. That's the terrorism.
Let's be poor. Breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
60 years old man who went to pick his visa at the Ethiopian embassy got mistaken by the Dokwemu Stupid Service, DSS, who are fighting terrorism. That woman said, how can a terrorist be carrying laptop? Sorry, it's a mistake. And all his face swollen. That is the state of Nigeria right now. Nigeria is not practicing democracy. Nigeria is practicing the demonstration of crazy people. Mad people everywhere. Today, people were going to go and do burial. Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, Okegan, Akure, Ondo State. They were going for the burial of one of their members. So they took a singular bus. On their way, they said gunmen, terrorists will lead them. And they marched all of them, including driver, 25 of them into the bush. Breaking news. They don't kidnap 25 people in Ondo. Hey, how, this, that. Okay, where is Amotekun? Amotekun. Do you have Amotekun emergency number? This and that. While we were still worrying, 7 of them escaped. When the 7 of them escaped, 6 women, 7 women, and 1 man, 8 of them escaped. As they were escaping, they met with Amotekun. As Amotekun was taking them back to say, okay, do you know the direction those others went? What happened? Tell us. Police came. When police came, police took them to police station. Police now called the press, and they declared to the press that they have rescued 8 of those kidnapped today. And they took their pictures. Policemen took this picture. So, argument constant. No, we are not rescued, though. We escaped new. Others have gone far. By now, if then they crawl, they go down reach Nasarawa, something like that. Like, you know, when they say, I hear say, Anikulapo don't die. The man will be say keep death inside his pouch. I say Anikulapo tiku, Anikulapo don't die. Yo. See, Ronnie, Baba, if he dey crawl, he go down reach heaven. He don't cold, he don't die. Say, Anikulapo died. Anyway, that's just by the way. So they were like, as you bring us here, they do all this drama, These people don't foul, they don't go foul. Police now said they rescued them. And they are also trying to rescue others. No, they are not trying to rescue others. Sure, you understand now? So it was Amotekun that now said, Iru nonsense. Even we hear that we decided to just go after the kidnappers. Now, on our way, we met these people who escaped. How can the police say they rescued them? They are arguing over whether they were rescued or they escaped in the media right now. But the remaining 18, if you remove it out of 25, Koku 17, the remaining 17 kidnapped people, Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, Okegan, Akure, Awe èèyàn Ọlọ́run, Baba Evangelist, Mama Evangelist, èèyàn Ọlọ́run. They are in the hand of the terrorists right now. And that is Nigeria happening to them too. Now they would have to, their fate, whether they are going to live or they are going to die, is going to be in the hands of their captors, the terrorists that are keeping them. So it is not limited to anywhere. You see, nowhere. They say, what do you call it? Nowhere is safe in Nigeria as it is, right? And it can touch you anywhere, anytime. It's unfortunate. And we hope that they would indeed be rescued. And they need to more. You know what I mean? Because what can we say? What can we do? Let's take a bit of a stopover. You have been hearing this issue of America dragging of Tinubu that has contributed to the further dented image of his illegitimate presidency. They are fighting tooth and nail to have legitimacy. But every now and then, you are making it difficult for them. Atiku. So Tinubu filed a petition. A stop. There is a name they have for it. There is a name for that, and they'll say stay of execution. Stay of execution. Please, my lord, we want you to stop the CSU, Chicago State University, from releasing my record. Tell them never to release it. Why? Because it's going to embarrass me. It's going to blah, blah, blah. But there are more and more and more that are kind of being like codedly released now, by the way. For example, you remember that time when Kolu, this was like in 1999, 2000, 2001, no, sure you get, when Kolu was giving different falsify information about himself. That time, there was no social media. Stop order. Look, America did that. People who are in America knows what they call it. Yeah, anyway. So, at a point, people started putting correction to correct Tinubu's lies. So, they were putting a sort of rebuttal inside newspaper. Every false thing about everything they say is a false, is a lie, is a lie, is false, false. Everything lies. Work for Mobile Corporation, false. Was born in March 29, 1952, March 29, 1957 or 1954. Everything false. No be today, oh. Sure you get. Then he said he was working for who are those people called again? He said he was working for Deloitte. They said, no, we don't know him. We don't have any record of him. Now, some of the things that are now coming out is that, apart from the fact that signatures of Tinubu, from then till now, and then even on this issue of election or no election, right? Forgery and documents. They said that it be like say, nobody say it be like say, oh, they said INEC form that Tinubu submitted as a candidate, he didn't sign it. Somebody else signed for him. How did that sort of miss people's attention until now? This is Tinubu's signature, according to them. If you want to compare the two, they are kind of not so similar, by the way. But let's leave that. But they look a little bit like similar. But when you go to the nomination form for himself and the Shettima, now somebody has signed them. They say, what does this mean? So they now said they are waiting on the Supreme Court. You are dealing with master forger. Pablo, are you with me? So you must actually you have to walk like you've never walked before if you really want to nail him and pin him. And the only person will be the fish bone in Tinubu's neck is David Hundeyin. And Atiku is digging more. So Atiku has filed another one and he said, I want you to, since the judge said she would deliver her judgment any moment from now, okay? Whether to release the record or not to release the record. So Atiku has now filed more by giving them a copy of the judgment from the tribunal in Nigeria, okay? And why these records are going to help him at the Supreme Court. So because the image of Nigeria, what do you call them? The image of Nigeria judiciary don't enter canal. It don't enter, what's this one again? All right, that's all the document. I got a lot of documents here, but you're not going to see my face. It's just going to be like pop, 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 pop. Don't worry. I'll talk you through them. You know? So, judiciary in Nigeria, which we now easily call the judiciary, has no single reputation anymore. Single, what do you call it? Sort of a reputation that is in any way trusted anymore. So then the person who helped to lie for Kalu for Tinubu in court is now the Attorney General of Nigeria, the chief, what's it called? Attorney General, Minister of Justice. So that one called, they say Nigerians should stop criticizing them, the judiciary. Nigerians should, nonsense, somehow. I'll let you listen to him directly. Is the Attorney General of Nigeria? This is the deceiver in law of Nigeria. Listen to him, Tinubu's lawyer at the presidential tribunal. Now it's going to be Tinubu's lawyer, at the Supreme Court. I don't know, but listen.
The Court of Appeal and its justices have been, permit me to say, trending lately in both conventional and social media. The proceedings and verdicts of your lordships on the presidential election attracted considerable attention, particularly hard work and industry required to prepare, write, and deliver judgments, which also brought to light the detailed and painstaking attributes of the Nigerian justices and judges. It is beyond debate that an effective judiciary must remain independent and impartial. This remains an essential component of the rule of law and democratic governance, as well as key driver of economic growth. I must remark that it is the abiding duty of both the litigant and legal practitioners to insulate the judiciary from improper or extraneous pressure, undue media vilification, and partisan criticisms. The right to freedom of expression comes with its limitations. It is not an avenue to engage in extreme or outlandish criticisms, inclusive of direct veiled threats of violence capable of exerting improper pressure on the judges in the discharge of their judicial duties. Although political and other high-profile cases come with their own huge expectations and tensions, it is, however, abhorrent for any legal practitioner or judicial officer to be threatened, harassed, or worse still, attacked simply for doing their job. While such sinful conduct are unacceptable, I enjoy the legal practitioners, political gladiators, and their supporters to exercise restraint and demonstrate respect for the judiciary. We must have faith in our trials and appellate processes, defend and not ridicule them in our overall common interest. I share the mantra which states that a judiciary can only be as good as the judges that man it. Therefore, in order to improve the welfare and independence of our judiciary, it has become pertinent for us to make targeted investments in the judiciary in terms of adequate remuneration, timely recruitment of competent hands, structured and deliberate capacity building, upgrade of court.
Nuisance leleyi.
Latif Fagbemi, ewo ngwere wigi nu 75-degree weather. The Kolo mentality. Oyinbo wey dey wear wig. they have what you call a very cold weather. You can call